Last night, Martinez was the leadoff hitter, and he was on base twice with a single and a walk. Up at the cut of the grass at third base, Harrison is show of bunt by Martinez, and Rudy Owens, his first pitch in Double-A is his strike on the outside corner. Our umpires for this afternoon's ball game are David Susi. He's calling the balls and strikes as there's a one-hop shot to third baseman Harrison, up with it and across the diamond to Ford at first, and there's one away. Two quick pitches, and Owens, he has to have some butterflies as well, knowing that he's going up against such a highly touted guy, and it's his first time pitching in front of a crowd anything like this.
Absolutely. I mean, he's going to feed off of this crowd also too, and all the media hype, and Randy's a pretty good pitcher from what I'm looking at here. I mean, and he should just feed off of it and play his game, and maybe somebody will notice him a little bit more.
Southpaw Rudy Owens, a strike dealt on the outside corner to Pedro Lopez, the right-handed hitting shortstop. Leonard Davis to follow, then it is Chris Marrero. In the Harrisburg first inning, just underway and scoreless as Owens deals. Inside he misses. And Rudy Owens, quite a few accolades for this guy. Minor League Pitcher of the Year in the Pirates organization. And how about these eye-popping numbers, what he did between Low A, West Virginia, and then up in the Carolina League with Lynchburg, as the 1-1 offering is waved on and missed. A terrific off-speed pitch down and in, and it's a ball and 2 strikes. It was 11-2 in the regular season between both clubs. 1-0 with a 146 earned run average in the playoffs. Lynchburg clinched the Sally League or the Carolina League championship as the ball shot into the stands foul right side. But as far as strikeouts are concerned, Rudy Owens has done terrific work. The 175 to 38 in his career, strikeouts to walks. That's 204 innings after being drafted by the Buccos in 2006. A 1-2 fouled off by Lopez to the right. And he was under the radar, Rudy Owens, 26th round draft pick out of community college, Chandler Gilbert. Mesa, Arizona native. Really came on last year. With the spikes 2 years ago, he was just 3-6 with an ERA near 5 as a 1-2 is floated by Lopez out towards second base, and Negrich, the second baseman, gloves it for out number 2.
Good for him. I mean, that's good to see. Some kid, I was a late bloomer, and maybe he's a late bloomer, and good to see he's starting to turn things around. They just stuck with him. Pirates are going to stick with him and gave him a chance.
And we'll talk about this as well because Steven Strasburg is a guy, you mentioned late bloomer. 2006 was his senior year of high school, and he went completely undrafted. How do you make such a transition and leap forward in 3 years?
He just wanted to play this game, this great game, and he just kept pushing forward and trying to prove people wrong that, hey, somebody's overlooking me here, So he was using his motivation, and that's a great way to do it, is go out and just keep performing and proving people wrong.
Leonard Davis, a batter, left-on-left matchup, center fielder, out to a 167 start on the season. Fouls off the first pitch from Owens. Kicks and deals the 0-1, and that'll be inside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Leonard Davis did hit a home run on Friday night. The only home run that we've seen this series came off of Jarrett Hughes to straightaway center field. That's a poke and a half. As the 1-1 breaking ball from Owens, and that's down and away. 2 balls and 1 strike. Rudy Owens, a character, no question about it. A lot of fans got to meet Rudy in our off-season hot stove event as the 2-1 delivery is swung on, fouled off towards the left when Stan, your old teammate, Doug Drabek came up and signed autographs with not only Rudy Owens, but Chase Darno as well.
Yeah, no, it's too bad we had all that snow. You know? I was going to plan on bringing my younger ones up, but we got all that snow, and just trying to get on the highways and stuff at that time was a problem.
2 balls, 2 strikes, bases empty, 2 down, top of the first inning, no score. Altoona and Harrisburg on a beautiful day for baseball with the outfield around to the right. Owens delivers, and there's a 1-hop smash, actually 2 hops to Negrich over at second, and Rudy Owens. How about that for a Double-A debut in 1/2? Pitch in Double-A. Jim Negrich, left-handed hitter and second baseman. Gorkys Hernandez, then Alex Presley, as the first offering is outside and low, ball 1.
You just let them know who's there.
Turns on the rubber, the tall right-hander delivers. And fastball chopped foul at the plate, and Negrich, 1 ball and 1 strike to count.
Yeah, the one thing, he's a starter. I was a reliever my whole professional career, but he's a starter, so he can do that, set the tone for the rest of the pitching staff, the first inning or two, on how he's going to pitch the hitters.
Comes high and away there, and Negrich a check swing. Certainly have to dial it up a little bit, Stan.
Yeah, you gotta get it going early, and it's going to make you susceptible to breaking balls and changeups later in the game.
Outfield and infield straight up. Strasburg on the 1 ball, 2 strike pitch. Comes with that high over the top, Uncle Charlie, but misses above the letters. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Negrich finished 5th in all of minor league baseball a couple of years ago in batting average, so he can handle his own, and he swings at the first Strasburg, the 2-2 Strasburg offering, and skies it a mile high in shallow left center field, and it's gloved by Pedro Lopez. Shortstop, out number 1 recorded. Now Gorkys Hernandez, the batter.
I see they don't have the speed pitch on today.
Well, they don't.
Out there, I mean, somebody needs to fix that for today to let these people know what he's throwing. But
yeah, of all the days for it to stop working, huh?
Yeah.
Gorkys Hernandez up to a 273 start. The Gork, of course, acquired in the Nate McLouth deal from the Atlanta Braves. They draw Adam Fox up even with the bag at third as Strasburg delivers fastball, and that's fisted foul off towards the right. No balls and 1 strike.
Yeah, as hard as he's throwing, if he keeps it inside there, these right-handers are going to have trouble. That's one thing I noticed. He's been working on trying to get more right-handers hitters out since Arizona's fall league.
1 out, nobody on. Strasburg delivers to Gorkys, and there's a 1-hop smash to third baseman Adam Fox, nearby St. Mary's, Pennsylvania. And Gorkys retired quickly, 2 up and 2 down for Steven Strasburg. And we would like to welcome those of you watching live across the country on ESPN News. Alongside former Pirates right-hander Stan Belinda, I'm Dan Zangrilli of the Altoona Curve, and we're glad to welcome you in for the first start of that guy right there, Steven Strasburg, who retired Jim Negrich, the Curve's second baseman, on 5 pitches, threw primarily fastballs.
And that's what the hitter was supposed to do. He's seen 5 pitches. He let the next guy up, see what he was supposed to do. What's he got? Fastball, he's seen a curveball. It's hanging a little bit right now. He doesn't have the feel for it yet out on the mound. That's what a leadoff hitter does.
Facing Alex Presley. Misses and falls behind 2-0. Well, folks, you are in Altoona, Pennsylvania. And for Washington Nationals fans around the area, or particularly tuned in to see this guy kick and deal the 2-0 to Alex Presley, who puts a charge into the 2-0 pitch. Valdez watches it clang off his glove. Presley, an extra base hit, doubles off of Strasburg with authority. 2 down here in the first inning. And as hard as it comes in, Stan Belinda, sometimes it could get out just a little bit quicker.
Oh, yeah, I've had some whiplash over my career. I mean, this kid, and that's just part of the character building stuff right there, The higher he goes up through, he's going to have bad innings. He's going to have bad games. He's got to learn. I was always told you'll learn more about yourself if you have a bad game or a bad inning. It's how you bounce back from that, how he handles this next hitter. If he just says, okay, let's get out of the inning and just get this guy out of the way.
So the 2-out double for Presley, that brings up Miles Durham, Altoona Curve right fielder. Strasburg misses inside. 1 ball, no strikes. Now, former Washington Nationals, or current Washington Nationals, that wore an Altoona Curve uniform, for those listening in the Metro D.C. area or now watching on ESPN News, as the Strasburg offering. Durham puts this one on the button in front of center fielder Davis. They're going to wave home. Presley, throw to the plate is cut off. Altoona jumping out to a 1-0 lead off of Steven Strasburg here in the first.
Yeah, there you go. That's what I was just talking about right there, how he handles that guy, catching up to his fastball. The next hitter up, he's out over the middle of the plate here, middle third in. you know, he didn't get that sinker in. He's got to put some movement on that, or these hitters are professional. They're going to take advantage of it.
So back-to-back 2-out hits. The 2-out Presley double and the RBI single for Miles Durham, his second run driven in this series.
You know, that's why I think that's why the Nats sent him back down here to Double-A, say, you know what, we noticed this about him, you know, with guys in scoring position and this and that. You know, they know all the numbers.
Chris Watts, the catcher, his first start of 2010, came on in a pinch hit role, and then a 2-for-1 switch, stayed in the ball game, dropped down a pivotal sacrifice bunt for Altoona in their 1-0 win yesterday. And Strasburg misses down low. Sean Burnett, Matt Capps, Niger Morgan for all you Washington Nationals fans. They played on this very baseball field at one point or another in their career as the 1-0 from Strasburg outside, 2-0.
That's incredible. They're, you know, over the course of the years, you know, you got to watch Matt Capps here, and then you've seen him in the Pirates uniform. Now he's, you know, with the Nats. You know, but that's how you follow players as a fan. That's what's a great part about it.
Durham leads off first to 2-0 inside a called strike. And there is that fastball, maybe a sinker, two-seamer that he runs at 90 miles an hour.
Yeah, exactly. I seen they got the speed pitch up and running, so maybe we said something helped that out. But that helps you out and tells you if it's a two-seamer or four-seamer. Absolutely, Dan.
Delivery, that's high and outside, 99 miles an hour from Steven Strasburg. He's got as high as 102 miles an hour. And how did this guy go undrafted out of high school? San Diego native from West Hills High School. Really came on last year as the next offering, 98 outside, and he walks Chris Watts. So after disposing of the first two hitters in this inning quickly, a 2-out double by Alex Presley, then Miles Durham singles sharply up the middle, and now Chris Watts walking.
Yeah, it just wasn't no double though. It was that ball was a clothesline rope to the wall. I mean, and that you know, a young pitcher like that, he's thinking, no, okay, you know, I've been in big league camp. These guys ought to be a piece of cake. Well, these guys here, a lot of them were probably in big league camp or faced big league pitchers through the course of spring training. They're ready for this stuff.
2 outs and 2 on for Josh Harrison. Scored the winning run last night for Altoona. They're up 1-0 in the bottom of the first. Breaking ball from Strasburg. Strike one.
I mean, I'm kind of biased. I want the Curve to win. I'm a Pirate fan, you know, but I like watching this kid pitch. I mean, all the hype and stuff behind him, and watching what Tony Gwynn got to watch when he was at San Diego State and stuff like that. This is a gift to me today to watch this game.
That last breaking ball at 83 miles an hour. 2 strikes on Harrison. Held up on the 83 mile an hour breaking pitch. That 12-6 curveball that he has will get up as high as 84, 85 miles an hour. But then if it flattens out, Stan, then it just becomes like a hard slider.
Yeah, I mean, if he puts a hump in it, you know, and that's what you got to watch for. That's what Randy Randy Tom will be watching for if there's a hump in it.
Oh, no. Oh, boy, did that get him. Yeah, Josh Harrison, a scare as Strasburg comes high and tight. And they're going to say that got the knob of the bat.
Wow.
Altoona Curve manager Matt Walbeck, a little curious. He'll maybe question David Susi, the home plate umpire, but perhaps a message sender. So that's an 0-2 high and tight. Stan, what comes next? I think we all know.
Well, he's got the thing great about that as a pitcher is you can go anywhere. You can go back inside, or you could go with something off speed away, a curveball or a slider. I mean, a hitter right now, just most of them don't want to be in there, you know, if it hit their hand at all.
And you saw right there that it was close. 1-2.
Went back inside, see? So
99 miles an hour.
You know, a lot of that depends on the catcher. You know, they go over these game plans, especially as higher up you go. The managers will get with the catchers, and they'll say, well, this is how I want these certain guys pitched, you know.
1 ball, 2 strikes, a count on Josh Harrison. Breaking ball hit sharply but foul. Well, folks, this is Altoona Curve, Pennsylvania. For those tuning in around the country, a place that is just about 90 minutes to the east of Pittsburgh, PA, and about a comfortable 30-minute drive down Interstate 99 from State College in the Happy Valley. A place that the natives have come out for on a monumental occasion to see things like this. 99 high and away from Strasburg gets Harrison to minimize the damage. Altoona Curve get a run on 2 hits, all coming with 2 outs, and they leave 2 men on. At the end of 1, it's the Curve 1 and the Senators nothing.
Until I started learning how to pitch a little bit along with that throw. You know, what he did, you know, you can't take away what he did in the past. So, you know, if he just keeps building on that, you know, he'll have an opportunity, I'm sure, at some point.
Chris Marrero takes the ball high and away, 1 ball and no strikes. As the next offering from Owens in there for a called strike.
And the thing of it is, when you're left-handed, you throw 87 to 88, 89. That looks like 93, 94 from a right-hander. You know, for some reason, lefties have the, you know, they don't have to throw as hard.
Pop up down the left field line off the bat of Chris Marrero, caught by third baseman Harrison, who was probably still shaking in his boots after Steven Strasburg came high and tight on him. But a good pitch by Rudy Owens that was down and in, got it off the end of the bat, and it was popped up. And Marrero is out number 1, 4 in a row set down by Rudy Owens to start his AA career. 10-1 last year for the Lynchburg, for the West Virginia Power in 19 starts, a 170 earned run average. And then up in Lynchburg, he was 1-1 with a 386.
Wow.
Delivery to the right-handed hitter Valdez, called strike on the outside corner.
That's what you call a good year, Dan. That's a pretty good year.
Yeah, South Atlantic League Pitcher of the Year, Pirates Minor League Pitcher of the Year. As the 0-1 delivery cut on and fouled back to the netting. And he's ahead, no balls and 2 strikes to Valdez with Adam Fox on deck. Class Single A Starting Pitcher of the Year, 2009 Topps Class A All-Star Team. Only 1 pitcher selected there, by the way, as Rudy misses high with a 92-mile-an-hour fastball. Like we said, he can pop it too.
Yeah, and it always looks harder from a lefty. I think that's why Randy Johnson was so hard to hit. I mean, he was legitimately throwing 100 miles an hour, but he's left-handed.
On a 1-2, swing and a miss on a ball in the dirt, and catcher Chris Watts completes the strikeout 2-3, and 5 up, 5 down for Rudy Owens.
With all strikeouts recorded by Curve pitchers today, Will Curtis on the Altoona Curve.
Now Adam Fox will stand in, bases empty, and there's 2 down. The Curve out to a 1-0 lead over the Harrisburg Senators this afternoon.
Batting 6th, playing at third base.
A beautiful day and a great crowd on hand. The fans still filing through the turnstiles, all wanting to get a piece of baseball history. A day that you want to say that I was there, as Rudy Owens deals high and outside to Adam Fox. And can you imagine? I mean, I know there's still 8 more innings to go, but the Curve obviously off to a very good start against Steven Strasburg as Owens winds, kicks, and deals the 1-0 high and outside. You can imagine the vibe in this city if they wind up coming out with a W.
Oh, it'll be great for this team. You can come up with a W right here.
Owens over top his head with the hands as he delivers again a fastball riding away, tailing action, 90 miles an hour, swung on a miss by Adam Fox, who's 1 for 10 to start the 2010 season.
Yeah, not just for the city, but for the Pirate organization. You know, they got some prospects here, you know, and they're, you know, everything's here for Strasburg, you know, and these guys are saying, hey, we're here too, you know,
Sure.
so.
And Rudy Owens was joking. Rudy is a real character, a funny guy. He'll eventually grow his hair out and get a perm before the year is over. He's already told us that, as the 2-ball, 2-strike pitch is inside, just missing. And some oohs and ahs from the Curve faithful. They'll let David Susi know, and the old "come on blue" from a native downstairs.
You can't say that as a pitcher on a mound, though. You can't be saying anything to him.
Payoff to Fox. He spoils it back our way, foul, and the count remains full. Bill Reinhardt, the batter, on deck. Nobody on and 2 outs. Top of the 2nd inning. The Curve 1, the Senators nothing. Outfield swung around to the right as Owens delivers the 3-2, which is hit in the air. Shallow left center. Going out is Jose De Los Santos over his head. Hits the Bermuda Triangle. He'll scamper back and pick it up and flip it back in towards the infield. That proverbial Bermuda Triangle, left fielder Presley and Gorky's in center crashing in. The speedy De Los Santos going out, but it always, when you see that forming, they call it the Bermuda Triangle for a reason.
Exactly. Plus, the guy who just hit it was from Pennsylvania. I mean, he's right up the road here. I mean, he probably had all the nuns, praying for him before the game, So, I mean, that thing just found where nobody could get to it.
St. Mary's, Pennsylvania, Adam Fox from Elk County. Lefty on lefty matchup here as the bloop base hit by Fox, the first off of Owens this afternoon, and Bill Reinhardt the batter. And Owens misses outside and low with a slider. 1 ball and no strikes.
See how he attacks this left-handed hitter. I'm always curious how lefties should, once you get up at higher levels, I mean, managers can't stand it if left-handers give hits up to left-handers.
Runner goes from first, swing and a miss, and the ball fouled back towards the screen, so Adam Fox will have to trot back to first. It's 1-1.
I mean, that's just like an unwritten rule, because I can remember a lot of my buddies who were in the bullpen. If they gave up a hit to a left turn, it was like, the world was coming to an end. I mean, it didn't matter who you were facing either. I mean,
why is that so tough? Lefty to hit a lefty. Righties hit righties all the time.
Right. I just think it happens more often.
Sure.
There's more right-handed throwers and there's more right-handed hitters.
1 ball, 1 strike. Open stands for Reinhardt in that left-handed box. Ford holds the runner on at first. That's Fox as the 1-1, just missing. Sweeping curveball from Rudy Owens, and it's 2 balls and a strike. Big hole on the left side of the infield for Bill Reinhardt. They play him to pull. Shortstop De Los Santos shaded just a few steps off the second base bag. Beautiful day with a slight breeze out towards the left as Owens at the belt deals the 2-1 delivery, and that's a chopping ball towards first. Ford will pick it up, but it's in foul ground, and the count will level off at 2 balls and 2 strikes. And stations, we do owe you an ID break at the bottom of the hour, 2:30. Let us pause 10 seconds so you could tell us who you are and from where you're coming. This is the Altoona Curve Baseball Network. Alongside former Bucco right-hander Stan Belinda, I'm Dan Zangrilli. Hello to everybody listening in Pittsburgh on Fox Sports Radio 970. Owens at the belt. Rudy Owens kicks and deals after he checks the runner, and he fires a breaking ball and freezes Reinhardt, a called strike 3. A strikeout. They're all brought to you by Terminex. Strikeout pests with Terminex. It's an absolute breeding ground for ants and bees this June, so strike them out before they get you. You can save 10% when you call 414-5128. At the end of 1.5, it's the Curve 1 and the Harrisburg Senators nothing. Back after this from your local stations. Altoona Curve named the Curve to honor this historic horseshoe curve that built this area. The Pennsylvania Railroad line built the area back in the 1850s. So it's not only for the baseball connotation, but also for the historic engineering marvel that wound up building this city and has kept it strong since the 1850s. Our little neck of the woods, tucked away in the Allegheny Mountains, is Shelby Ford. Leads off the inning against Strasburg as the second offering, a 99-mile-an-hour fastball hit towards second base and picked up by Michael Martinez. Shelby Ford retired 4-3. And take a look at this pitch down and away, tailing from the left-handed hitting Forbes stand. And what do you do with that? You just roll over it.
Yeah, I mean, you can't do nothing with that. I mean, this kid has so much velocity. I mean, he starts understanding how to use that, which he's starting to understand because that's why he's going to move through. They wouldn't have started him at Double-A if he wasn't ready for it.
Jose De Los Santos, last night's hero, as Strasburg blows 99 by him, 0-1. And that's where Strasburg's been sitting most of the afternoon early on with that fastball. I don't think we've seen anything below 99. 0-1 delivery, that again, double nines, fouled off towards the left. For those just tuning in, Altoona jumped out to a 1-0 lead after Strasburg retired the first 2 batters of the first inning, but Alex Presley doubled off the left field wall, and then Miles Durham drove him in with a base hit to center field. Strasburg has also walked a guy, has yet to strike anybody out. 0-2 pitch. Oh. There's number 1. Hard hammer down and inside.
Yeah, he's not hitting that one.
Number 48.
Well, let's see how Rudy Owens fares. We were joking. Rudy Owens, of course, the pitcher for the Altoona Curve this afternoon. We're joking, of course, the Strasburg innings televised live on national television with ESPN News. As Owens will take 99 down Broadway. We were joking that the only time that he's going to be on national TV is when he's trying to bunt against the guy.
Yeah. Look, it looks like they gave him the smallest bat they could so he could swing it.
Strike one, 100 miles an hour.
Ooh.
They play Owens very shallow, as you can imagine, in center field.
Yeah, shade him over to the left.
0-2, 99, good night. Rudy Owens strikes out. Steven Strasburg recovers nicely after the 2-hit, 1-run attack in the first. And a 1-2-3 inning with 2 strikeouts. That is the Curve half of the second at the end of 2. Altoona 1 and Harrisburg nothing.
A
couple of days ago.
Yeah, we're just, the 4th game of the season, so he's going to be, they're going to give these guys, look here and there, and then they'll decide who's going to be their everyday guy, and then the other guy will be the backup.
Right-handed hitting catcher. They play him to pull at third base as the offering upstairs, 1 ball and no strikes.
Open stance.
Kicks and deals to Owens, misses outside and high. 2 balls and no strikes. I wonder what Steven Strasburg is more excited about. His professional debut on the bumper, getting a hit up against a quality lefty.
If he's like me, probably getting a hit.
2-0 delivery, strike called. I was going to say, I mean, all pitchers think they can hit, all hitters think they can pitch.
Yeah.
What type of hitter were you?
5 o'clock hitter.
5 o'clock hitter, okay. 2-1 delivery. Hit in the air pretty well. Gorkys Hernandez, though, has it measured for out number 1 here in the 3rd inning. As, of course, when Rich Donnelly was throwing you those beeps right down the middle.
Yeah, well, they usually save Rich for the hitters. I mean, we usually seen somebody else that wasn't throwing as good. So, we just try to go take it out of the yard, and not really work on a whole lot. Now the starters did, but the relievers, we were there because we knew we weren't going to get an at bat unless we were either up by a lot of runs or down by a lot of runs.
Strasburg now at the plate, checks his swing, does it like a pro, and he's able to hold up. They appeal down to first base. Scott Mahoney, the first base umpire, says no dice. Strasburg, 6'4", 220 pounds, facing Rudy Owens, the lefty, his mound opponent, and there's a fastball that's on 90 on the radar, poked foul on the right field line, 1 ball and 1 strike.
When I played, I mean, there was a lot of managers that wanted to see their pitchers hit.
And Strasburg will put it in play to first base. Shelby Ford, playing his first game over there at first base, does a great job feeding Owens covering because that was a swinging bunt, and Ford had to come in quite a ways, stop and then reverse direction and throw the ball almost behind him, and he was able to field and fire, and they work on that all spring training.
Second baseman, Michael Martinez.
That's PFP.
How much do pitchers and first basemen hate that drill?
At the beginning, it's fine, but after a while, it just sort of like, okay, you need to bring in the second baseman because we worked on this one enough, Because there is times where the first baseman's playing back and he needs to go over an after ball, and the second baseman actually gets it, so there's nobody there. So that's the one that's really hard, and that's the one you need to work on.
0-1 delivery inside from Owens to Michael Martinez, top of the batting order for Harrisburg. Top of the 3rd inning, 2 outs, bases empty. The Curve 1 and the Senators nothing. Owens delivers. Called strike on the outside corner.
Yeah. Well, back to what I was saying about the pitchers hitting real quick. There was managers that wanted to have their pitchers hit really good, and there's other ones that were paranoid that they were going to get hurt when they hit. So, it all depends who you got, how much BP you took.
1-2 pitch fouled off towards the right. So, yeah, Rich Donnelly was on our broadcast team the last 2 seasons, and he would always say, and he would go down before the games and brag about the Frank Thomas home run that he gave up at Three River Stadium during the All-Star game. As Owens fans, Michael Martinez, 3rd strikeout for Rudy Owens, and his second 1-2-3 inning.
Day is April 23rd in Duncansville. calendars. For additional information, stop by or call the Curve front office. Leading off the bottom of the third inning.
The Curve 1 and the Harrisburg Senators nothing. The Altoona Curve, given their namesake, this great region because of the horseshoe that goes around the Allegheny Mountains. The horseshoe curve, they call it. Looks exactly like a horseshoe, built in the late 1850s at the time, an engineering marvel. And 12 years ago when the curve came into existence, the city rallied around it in 1999 as Negrich will take high from Stephen Strasburg 1-0. Everybody laughed at the notion that baseball wouldn't work here in the smallest market in AA, but you take a look at crowds like today as Negrich waves through a 99-mile-an-hour fastball from Stephen Strasburg.
Yeah, I can remember when I was asked about it if it was going to make it here. You know, I said absolutely.
A baseball-rich city, watching one of baseball's most prized prospects deal down and inside. That was 92. Was that his changeup, Stan, or?
That was probably, you know, I don't know if he's throwing a split or something like that. You know, I can't really see from up here, you know, what he's throwing there, how he's holding it.
2-1 delivery. Negrich 0 for 1. The pitch misses up and out of the zone. Again, 99 miles an hour. Popped up to the shortstop. Negrich will be followed by Gorkys Hernandez and Alex Presley.
I think it is when you throw that hard. I mean, you just got to get the wood on the ball. That's all.
Negrich thought he had ball 4. Yeah. Instead, the count is full. Strasburg has struck out a couple, enjoyed a 1-2-3 inning in the second after he gave up an RBI single to Miles Durham. Negrich going the other way to left field for Bill Reinhardt. And there's one down in the third inning.
Center fielder Gorkys Hernandez.
The mechanics on this kid, I'm watching him. I'm trying to pick apart his mechanics, and I really just don't see no holes in it. I mean, nothing that's sticking out. You know, I'd have to get down closer and maybe, you know, watch, you know, a little bit closer. But from up here and even on TV, I mean, I'm looking and I'm trying to find, you know, if he's falling off, if he's not extending the whole way. I mean, this kid's obviously polished enough to be, you know, all the hype on him.
Gorkys Hernandez, the batter, shows bunt, pulls back, strike 1. Breaking ball from Strasburg. Third baseman Adam Fox up on the cut of the grass. Gorkys Hernandez acquired from the Atlanta Braves organization last June in the Nate McLouth deal that sent McLouth to Atlanta. 0-1 in there, called strike. Big breaking ball bending the back of Gorkys Hernandez. Hernandez acquired along with Charlie Morton and Jeff Locke. As the 0-2 from Strasburg. Rides high and tight at 98 on the gun. And it's a ball and 2 strikes. Well, he went high and tight on Josh Harrison. Almost hit the knob of the bat back in the first inning. Then he came low and away with the fastball. See what he does here on the 1-2. Breaking ball.
Yeah.
Gorky's just able to get a piece of it, and that's about as devastating a combination as there is.
It's worked since the game's been alive. Up and in, down and away, you know.
And you know it's coming as a hitter.
Yeah. I mean, you can tell them it's coming, you know, but they just can't get their body to get, you know, you got to lean out over the plate a little bit to hit that outside pitch. And they just can't get themselves to do it. Then
comes fastball at 100, riding high and tight. 2 down in the Curve third inning.
Fielder Alex Presley.
And now Alex Presley, he's the man that has rattled the Strasburg cage more than anybody in this lineup. As you take another look at that high hard one from Stephen Strasburg with movement, riding up and in.
Yeah, exactly, riding fastballs. You know, that's Dwight Goodnish and, you know, Nolan Ryan type, you know, riders.
San Diego native Stephen Strasburg facing Alex Presley, who hit one to the warning track and doubled. He'll take a strike. Strasburg, how special is he? And like we said, mind-boggling that he was undrafted out of high school, West Hills High School in San Diego, as he misses outside 1-1.
Yeah, they don't always get it right, you know.
But 08, and he was a part of the bronze medal team for the U.S. Olympics. But In 2009, that was when the coming out party happened, as the 1-1 delivery, swing and a miss. 13-1 at San Diego State playing for Tony Gwynn. 132 earned run average, but the strikeout to walks, Stan.
Yeah.
195 to 19.
Yeah.
23 strikeouts in a game versus Utah in his college career, and he has one blown at 100 miles an hour past Alex Presley. And Steven Strasburg, I think, has settled in after a turbulent first inning. The curve for the second time, go 1, 2, 3. At the end of 1, at the end of 3, it's the curve 1 and the Senators nothing. Good to have you along wherever you may be listening, alongside former Bucco Stan Belinda. Dan Zang, really glad to have you along.
Well, thanks, Dan. It's great to be here. And Rudy's doing a superb job early in the game. He's keeping his pitch total down. I mean, he's doing a really good job.
Wind by Owens. The delivery is fouled off down the right. 0-1. Only 45 pitches for Rudy Owens, and better than a 2-to-1 strike-to-ball ratio.
That's what it takes. I mean, the higher up you go, I mean, that's what it takes.
32 strikes, 14 out of the zone, as a ground ball to third base off the bat of Lopez, handled by Josh Harrison, and there's one down in the fourth inning. Now Leonard Davis, the batter. Davis is 0 for 1. Center fielder grounded out to the second baseman back in the first.
And whenever you see this at a ball game, when you're out here and you see a lefty facing a lefty, you pay attention to it. I mean, if he can wipe him out early in the count, not throw a lot of pitches to him, then he knows he's on his way. You know, that'll catch a big league manager's eye better than anything if he can just wipe out a left-hander.
Leonard Davis swings and misses at the first offering. Will take a breaking ball, buckling his knees for a called strike 2. On deck is Chris Marrero. Jesus Valdez after him. The curve, a run on 2 hits, no runs on 1 hit for the Harrisburg Senators. The ball fouled back into the grandstand level, and 2 strikes the count. A packed house here on this Sunday afternoon. Glad you could be with us. Coming up in the bottom half of the 5th inning is a ball fouled at the plate, hitting Davis in the box. We'll talk to Doug Harris, the Director of Player Development for the Washington Nationals. We'll talk about Steven Strasburg.
Yeah, that's a tough job, huh? Here you go. Take care of this kid. Make sure he makes it.
0-2 pitch. Popped up by Davis, right side. Shelby Ford, curve first baseman towards the railing, and that'll be first row into the Diamond Club. And we'll do it all over again.
Now, people don't see that side of it, you know, behind the scenes with, you know, with Mr. Harris and everything, that are trying to help this kid get to the big leagues. I mean, the pressure that's on them comes down from ownership and, you know, from presidents of the club. It's got to be tremendous.
No balls, 2 strikes, 1 man down, nobody on base here in the 4th inning. Davis will foul one off towards the left again. The curve 1 and the Senators nothing. Miles Durham driving in Alex Presley, who doubled with 2 outs off of Strasburg in the first. Fluid motion for the left-hander as the pitch down and away in the dirt. And Davis trying to do everything he can to stay alive and work this count. Looks like a Denny Nagel type windup, does it not?
Yeah, a little bit like Denny. You know, I'd like to see, you know, if I was down closer. I mean, from up here, I'm watching on the screen here a little bit, but he sort of looks like a little bit like Denny Nagel. Absolutely.
On a 1-2 from Owens, he'll fist one foul inside out it, and still 1 ball and 2 strikes. Well, folks, coming up tomorrow at Blair County Ballpark, Mirror Mondays. Altoona Mirror sports section. You could look for great deals right on the front page for tickets to tomorrow's game when the Richmond Flying Squirrels visit BCB. There's a 1-2 pitch from Owens. Breaking ball swung on and missed in the dirt. Watts will apply the tag, the curve catcher. And Rudy Owens, 4 strikeouts so far. And there's quickly 2 down in the 4th inning. Only 1 base runner allowed by Rudy Owens. That was a 2-out single by Adam Fox on a blue base hit in shallow left center field.
First baseman, Chris Marrero.
Yeah, it was a good at bat by him. I mean, he's seen, what, 7-8 pitches right there. You know, you'd like to see your lefties just go in there, strike 1, strike 2, maybe waste a pitch and get him out of there. You know, even the starters. That way your pitch total don't get way up there.
Owens first offering up and away to Chris Marrero. Open stance from the right-handed hitter's box. First baseman fouled out to Josh Harrison over at third his first time up. That was back in the second inning. Curve lead at 1-0. As a sharply hit ball down towards the Gallagher's kid zone. 1 ball and 1 strike. Now the Curve not only home tomorrow for the Mirror Monday special, but Tuesday and Wednesday as well. As a 1-1, a sharply hit ball up the middle, diving stop by De Los Santos to his left, gets up and he throws out Chris Marrero. Oh, Jose De Los Santos doing it all, and it'll get a great hand from this crowd. Winning the game yesterday in the 10th inning, and a top shelf defensive gem back of second base, and he didn't panic, threw out his man, and yet another 1-2-3 inning for Rudy Owens. He's retired the last 7 that he's faced. Well, this beautiful facility here in Altoona, Pennsylvania, Blair County Ballpark, opened in 1999, 7,200 seat, and I think we've exceeded that capacity this afternoon for that guy right there, Steven Strasburg. Vice President Dick Cheney and Jimmy Carter just a couple of years ago when Jimmy was on a nearby fishing trip to your neck of the woods, Stan Belinda, near Huntington County.
Yeah, up Spruce Creek, I'm sure.
Miles Durham, first batter of the inning, drove in the only run of this ball game. First ball swinging, flies out to right fielder. Jesus Valdez out number 1. Only 2 hits in this game off of Steven Strasburg. Aside from Durham, Alex Presley has the other one. But Strasburg has settled down very nicely, retiring the last 7 that he's faced and striking out 4 of his last 5.
Yeah, he's got it going on. He's starting to settle in a groove. He's going to be tough to knock it out of it now.
Chris Watts was able to draw a walk off Strasburg his last time up. He'll take outside. And that's just 90 on the gun.
Yeah, that's the one that we've been sort of, you know, that 90 to 92. What's he throwing there? I don't know if he's being taught how to throw a 2-seamer or something. I mean, I don't know what it is.
That looked like the change there. It had some sort of movement, but it looked like the same sort of pitch.
Yeah, that might be what he's doing, you know.
One to Watts comes fastball again, and that's a 10-mile-an-hour difference. 99 miles an hour on the radar gun. Josh Harrison to follow for Altoona. They're up 1-0, and for those just tuning in, Miles Durham drove in Alex Presley back in the first inning for the Curve. As that next offering at 97 miles an hour.
I wonder what kind of pitch count he's on. You know, I didn't get a chance to go down and talk to Randy Tallman, but I'm sure he's on a pitch count.
Yeah, they're saying about 85 to 90 as Watts will again work the count from Strasburg and draw a walk. The second free pass issued by the right-hander from San Diego. Steven Strasburg only walked 19 last year in 109 innings of work, leading the San Diego State Aztecs to the regionals for the first time since 1991.
Yeah, the only thing I can say about that, I mean, that's a great stat. Don't get me wrong. I'd love to have that on my resume. But as he goes up in AAA, big leagues, you know, if he even goes to AAA, he might jump right up to the big leagues. These guys are going to have a little bit more patience. They're not going to swing at high fastballs as much, you know, balls in the dirt. So that I think that walk total might go up a little bit, you know, but I would love to have that on my resume, no question about it.
And you simply just can't work in the heart of the plate that much like you were in college. You can get away with 99 right down Broadway, but of course, 99 isn't all that difficult if it's sitting belt high. You can.
Well, when you see it day in and day out, you know, 90 to 95 miles an hour. Now everybody throws 95, you know, so big league hitters are seeing that consistently. I mean, they're going to hit it.
Broken bat on a 1-0, dribbler to shortstop. Lopez tried to hot dog it, underhand flip to his second baseman Martinez, and all hands are safe. I'm not sure if Lopez could have taken that himself. And I guess secondly, should he have taken it himself? We'll have to get another look to see where his momentum was. And yeah, well, he was behind the second base bag by a couple of feet, and he had Martinez crossing over. So instead of, I guess, trying to stop his momentum, probably better off to try that flip, and it would have been bang, bang. Watts doing a good job of hustling. So it'll be charged as an error actually on Martinez, the second baseman. So 2 men out, 1 man on, and Shelby Ford, the switch hitter, will get a shot. Rounding out against Strasburg the first time he faced him. He'll take outside at 97 miles an hour, 1-0. And stations down the network lines, we do have to pause 10 seconds for identification. We'll get to it in just a moment. High set by the right-hander, and he misses inside. That's just a diminutive 98 miles an hour from Strasburg. That's about
it sounded inside on that one, I think. I mean, the catcher didn't. I was watching him over here. The catcher never moved. It's a little inside.
2-0. Swing and a miss. 95. It's 2-1. Strasburg right now at 58 pitches. 35 of them are strikes. 23 out of the zone.
Yeah, see, that last pitch had some movement on it, so he knows he's, his arm's loosened up. He's getting into where the ball's going to start really running for him.
2 on and 1 gone in the curve half of the 4th inning. Ford will slap one foul, a fastball at 96 miles an hour here in Altoona, Pennsylvania. Our little neck of the woods, and we welcome the rest of America watching the debut of this young man, Stephen Strasburg. 70 media credentials issued, 33 different media outlets on hand here today to cover Stephen Strasburg.
That's a great deal for minor league baseball in general.
Well, and not a great deal for Shelby Ford as he's frozen on that backdoor breaking ball. 5 strikeouts for Strasburg and 2 away in the 4th. First time that Strasburg has caught somebody looking, and how about that backdoor breaker?
That was pretty nice right there. I mean, he stayed compact. He picked a spot out where he wanted to start the pitch, and just like you said, he knocked on the back door and let himself in.
He's got De Los Santos, who made a terrific play to end the top of the 4th inning. The curved shortstop. He's going to hit this sharply and underneath the glove of Pedro Lopez. Matt Walbeck is going to wave home the runner, Chris Watts. He'll slide in safe. The throw is up the line. Gets away from catcher Solano. That allows Harrison to slide in safely underneath. And the Curve have a 3-0 lead on Stephen Strasburg here in the 4th inning.
There you go. Just put it in play against somebody throwing that hard.
Now De Los Santos just sneaking in under the glove of shortstop Pedro Lopez out of the outstretched glove, and the throw here from Leonard Davis getting away as Watts lumbering home, and that took a awkward kick. And through the back door comes Josh Harrison. 3-0 Altoona. And that fight song that you hear in the background, folks that are uninitiated, that was a song called Everybody Loves Curve Baseball, written by our owner Bob Lozenak, and it is a combination of a polka and a fight song all wrapped into one.
Wow. Well, I can deal with the polka because my grandparents listen to that all the time. I mean, my great-grandfather, he owned a Polish club, so we know all about that, but I love that. That's awesome.
An error going to be charged on Leonard Davis for that errant throw that allows the 2 runs to score. And all the way up to 3rd went De Los Santos on the play as Rudy Owens, the mound opponent of Stephen Strasburg. Pitcher takes outside. He struck out against him in the 1st.
Yeah, Randy's going out to say something. He noticed something, maybe he wasn't using his legs or something, or, he wasn't being direct with his pitches.
Well, Randy Tomlin, the former Pirates left-hander, a teammate of yours, Stan Belinda. Jonathan Solano, the catcher, in there talking with Strasburg as well. Well, Randy Tomlin, he wasn't a hard thrower. As a matter of fact, he was the guy that perfected an odd grip of a changeup.
Absolutely, the Vulcan changeup. Yeah. Yes. And Randy and me were really good friends. We played a lot of Nintendo together, when we were on the road and stuff. So he'd show me that, how he held that, and I was like, how in the world did he throw that? But he perfected it, and he threw across his body. Eventually, that's what hurt his career. He threw so far across his body that he couldn't get extended on the ball, and he lost velocity, and then it was the end of it. But he was a great person to have around, real quiet, got the job done, handed the ball every 5th day, and, helped us win championship.
Owens takes a strike. Well, you're dating yourself there, Nintendo back in the
Oh,
clubhouse,
yes. Yeah, I mean,
What was the game of choice?
I'd play RBI baseball, a lot of that, and like they had a Dusty Diamond softball. We played a lot of things that just, because they had old timers on there, that, when I was growing up and who I idolized, were on the Nintendo games.
2-2, and Rudy Owens singles up the middle against Strasburg, and he'll drive in a run, helping his own cause.
Have a day, Rudy.
Now, so far, Rudy Owens has outpitched Steven Strasburg, and now he can boast an RBI single on national television against the hard-throwing right-hander.
They better get his shoes for the Hall of Fame. That's why you play this game, ladies and gentlemen. You can hype it up all you want. Just play the game.
Now Rudy Owens back up the middle for his first hit, and it's an RBI. Top of the batting order to Jim Negrich, the curved second baseman, and a good stop by catcher Solano.
Everybody clap your hands.
Well, in a way, you almost feel bad, Stan, because all the media attention, there has never been a guy so ballyhooed that I can remember, perhaps in the history of this game, than this guy right here, Steven Strasburg, as he misses downstairs and inside to Jim Negrich. I mean, with the way the world is now, I mean, you've had Mark Pryor and things of that nature, and other ballyhooed guys. And there was a great article in the local newspaper, the Altoona Mirror, by Corey Geiger. And Mark Pryor, a lot of phenomenal advice to Steven Strasburg as a strike to Jim Negrich. 2 balls and 1 strike. And of course, you see perhaps Pryor was a little bit rushed, but then you go all the way back to the David Clyde story back in the 1970s.
Absolutely.
So you really have to be careful as this foul down the left field line.
Absolutely. This kid, from what, I heard all about him, and I what Mitch Williams said on Major League Baseball Network, this kid doesn't want smoke blown at him. He doesn't want that. He wants to go out and prove it that he belongs, and he has the credentials to do it. He has the fastball, he has the breaking ball. Now it's just a matter of time and given the opportunity to go do it.
Called strike 3. Negrich is frozen. Strasburg will strike out his 6th of the ball game, but the Altoona Curve pound out 3 runs, and they do so on a couple of hits, and there was a couple of big errors in the inning. And the Altoona Curve at the end of 4 have a 4-0 lead over the Harrisburg Senators. 0-0. Rudy Owens has struck out 4 batters so far. He's enjoyed 3 1-2-3 innings in the 4 that he's pitched, and he also has an RBI single under his belt. I'd like to welcome those of you listening up in Clearfield on News 900 WCPA, our great affiliate there, as Rudy Owens will deal a strike right down Broadway to Valdez, whom he got swinging on a breaking ball in the dirt back in the 2nd.
Yeah, Rudy's doing a tremendous job right now today. This is a great game for him.
0-1 pitch inside, 1 ball and 1 strike. I talked a little earlier. He's going to fluff out the hair and get the perm and have it flowing.
Oh, boy.
1-1 pitch, swinging a foul back to the netting. And, Stan, of course, you played with Doug Drabeck, and we had him here in February for our event. And we were sort of joking around with him. We talked about his mullet. And he contends that it was never a mullet. and you have to absolutely tell us all about that. Is a one-hop smash into right field.
Oh, geez.
Past a diving Shelby Ford for a base hit. And
I was so young. I was just trying to be happy to be there and just trying to do my job. Spanky and them would get into it with, Don Slott and Van Slyke and them guys. There was stuff that they got involved with that I knew nothing about, but some of that stuff was awesome. Hey,
and Doug Harris.
It was just a good old time. But he had like a perm all the time. Dougie did. At least that's what we called it. Little poodle.
Owens from the stretch for just the 2nd time this afternoon, high and outside to Adam Fox, who singled against him. Only 1 of 2 hits in this ball game against Rudy Owens. 4-0 Altoona in the bottom of the 4th. Bill Reinhardt on deck will be joined in this inning by Doug Harris, the Director of Player Development for the Washington Nationals. He'll stay with us this entire 5th inning. Swing and a miss. Adam Fox chasing one up and out of the zone. And Doug, we have seen some electric stuff from Steven Strasburg in the early going so far. The 6 strikeouts certainly indicate that, and the radar gun is popped a few times. There's a 1-1, swing and a miss. It's a ball and 2 strikes.
I don't actually think we've seen his best stuff today. He's a little aggressive in his delivery and settled down in the 2nd inning, but got a little quick for him there at the end.
And how much of that is maybe attributed to all the, and we'll say it, distractions that are surrounding everything. Is a 1-2 pitch. Popped up, foul ground. Watts shades on, mask off, makes the catch. And there's one away in the 5th inning.
I actually think that we can attribute a lot of that to it. This is his debut, and I'm sure that everything going on around him is it's exciting, but it's also a lot for a young man to take in.
Now, Doug, I was looking at something. He played in the fall league out in Arizona, and I don't know if you've noticed it or you've probably looked at it. I'm sure you have, but he sort of had trouble getting right-handers out. You know, he's got tremendous stuff. I don't know if he needed to work on a breaking ball more, or he just didn't know how to get that movement to bite in on the hand to break those bats.
I think today is the highest volume of 4-seam fastballs I've seen from him. His 2-seamer has incredible bottom to it. He hasn't gotten to the glove side a whole lot today, and I think all that's tied directly to the delivery and how aggressive he is to his front side right now.
Okay. That's great. I mean, he's got great stuff. Don't get me wrong. I mean, but I was just looking at his numbers, and I'm sure you guys are aware of that. You're probably, you want him to wipe those right-handers out.
Sure. I think he has a chance to be dominant against right-handers when he establishes that 2-seamer and hits the breaking ball consistently. This is probably as loose as I've seen his breaking ball.
Okay.
Outfield around to the right, runner at first, 1 down. Rudy Owens with a left-on-left matchup to Bill Reinhart. No balls and 1 strike to the left fielder of the Senators. Inside, Owens missing with a fastball.
And I'm not trying to be critical of him. I mean, I'm just giving you what I see today, and it's the first time I've ever laid my eyes on him. The kid has tremendous velocity. I mean, the hype had to get to him. He's a kid. Sure. I mean, sure. I know it would have got to me, and he's also let some high fastballs go that I'm like, man, this kid can really. He's got more in there, and that's what's impressing me. He's got more in there when he learns how to zone that thing down. I mean, this kid's going to be something special.
We're scratching the surface right now. He has not learned to read swings yet and use different quadrants of the strike zone to elevate the fastball with purpose. I think we're just seeing the tip of the iceberg.
2-1 delivery to Reinhart, a roller, right side. Negrich ranging far to his right, or his left rather, and he throws out Reinhart. Up to second base goes Jesus Valdez, and there's 2 away in the 5th. Talking with Doug Harris, the Director of Player Development with the Washington Nationals. Of course, all eyes on Blair County Ballpark tonight in the Harrisburg Senators. And we'll talk to you in the bottom of the 5th inning, Doug, about much of the same when we have our national audience aboard, as Jonathan Solano will dig in. The catcher is 0 for 1. Solano flying out to center field back in the 3rd. Harrisburg with their first runner in scoring position today. Owens scattering 2 hits. Valdez, the runner at second, led off this inning with a single. Owens at the bell to check of the runner, not being held on by shortstop De Los Santos, is the offering inside. 1 ball and no strikes. 4-0 Altoona in the bottom of the 4th inning. The curve, 4 hits. Harrisburg, no runs, 2 hits, a couple of errors. There is activity in the curve bullpen as Rudy Owens is now over the 70-pitch limit, 71 pitches, 51 rather, which are of strikes. Delivery is high, 2 balls and no strikes. And Doug, how tough is it for a guy like Steven Strasburg to do anything? I mean, you almost in a way you feel bad for him because with Facebook, Twitter, the way the media is, 70 credentials issued, 33 different outlets here today is the 2-0 popped up foul. I mean, how do you, as Director of Player Development, you work so hard in the minor league system, but and this is a new animal for you, I would imagine.
It is. The closest thing I can come to it is I was in the Southern League the year that Michael Jordan was playing baseball. And the mania that comes with somebody, it's phenomenal right now. Steven is a very humble young man, and he's done an excellent job for a 21-year-old who hasn't been exposed to a lot of these things. We've done a very good job of protecting him, but also want to create some normalcy for him and let him experience minor league baseball and everything that comes with it.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Runner at second base, Valdez led off the inning with a single. There's 2 outs in the Harrisburg 5th.
Yeah, Doug, and minor league baseball today is a lot different than back then.
Absolutely. the exposure today is phenomenal, and everybody's going to have an opinion. I think that you have to have thick skin, and he's a polite young man, but he can't accommodate all the requests that are out there, but he's very respectful, and there is structure to how we're going about handling this.
What I like about him is he's wanting to prove people wrong. He wasn't drafted out of high school. He had to go and work at this thing.
2-2 pitch is lined through the left side of the infield. They're going to wave home Valdez. Throw from the left fielder. Presley is one hopping past catcher Chris Watts, and the first run of the ball game for the Harrisburg Senators comes by way of Jonathan Solano sneaking one through the left side. Catcher for the Sens gets his first rib of the year, and Harrisburg has cut Altoona's lead to 3. It's 4-1.
When you go in the clubhouse, Stan, if you did not know him from the other guys, there's no separation. He's a grinder. He's got tremendous work ethic, and I think that's what is going to help along with his ability to separate himself.
I hear Mitch Williams say it on TV also, and just from what I've seen up here, the way he sort of just lets it go. And he will channel that.
Absolutely.
He will channel that. And when he does, it's going to be tough on every hitter.
Absolutely.
And that's why everybody that has played this game is so high on this kid. Just from watching him, you can see how the ball comes out of his hand. And it's just like, wow, this is a special kid.
He's a fierce competitor, and he's got a special focus that, again, a price tag aside, it's a special focus, how he prepares and the desire to succeed.
Well, now Strasburg will step in the batter's box.
How do you like watching him do this?
I'm going to tell you what, he can hit a golf ball a long way. So he hadn't done this for a while, but.
Well, he has an opportunity to cut the curve lead in half. Runner at second base, Solano. Strasburg put the bat on the ball, his first double-A at bat, and he'll take a strike from Rudy Owens, 0-1. 1 on, 2 gone. Top half of the 5th inning. Altoona 4 and Harrisburg 1. Talking with Doug Harris, Director of Player Development for the Washington Nationals. Alongside Stan Belinda, I'm Dan Zangrilli. Delivery is swung on, and he hits this one with authority. Right field. Durham was playing in, and he gets it over his head. So he will take out some mound aggression on that Owens delivery, and he'll drive in his first RBI of his professional career, and it's a 4-2 ball game. Going the other way, mind you, as well.
Yes, to right field. How about that?
Take what you're given, huh?
Second baseman Michael Martinez.
And I don't know. I mean, what are you more excited about? Do you, I mean, on the bump for the first time, is it your first professional strikeout or is it your first professional RBI, Doug?
We'll take the strikeout.
Sure, yes.
I don't know about he will, though, at this point.
So Steven Strasburg collecting the 4th hit off of Rudy Owens. His top of the batting order, Michael Martinez, switch hitter from the right side, will foul one off towards the left, 0-1. Now this is the first bit of turbulence that Rudy Owens has experienced here in the 5th inning. He enjoyed 3 out of 4 of his innings in the 1-2-3 variety. And Michael Martinez is the 6th man to come to bat against him. Man in scoring position. He'll flare one foul into the first base side of the bleachers, 0-2.
Yeah, Dan, we just scored 3 runs bottom half the inning. This was a huge inning for, Rudy to go out there and put a 0 up. That's why there's guys up in the bullpen right now, might be getting a little bit tired on where his pitch count's at.
80.
But that's what you try to teach young pitchers. We put a number up, you go out and put a 0 up.
0-2 pitch from Rudy Owens to Martinez. He'll slap this one down the right field line in front of Durham. He'll juggle it initially, and this will get a 3rd run home. And it's a 1-run ball game. as Michael Martinez, going the other way, drops one in front of the curve right fielder, scoring Steven Strasburg all the way from second base. And just off the end of the bat the other way, Miles Durham had to change direction on him. He tried to barehand it a little bit, and that'll be it for Rudy Owens. Rudy Owens has an opportunity to be the winner. He cannot be the loser. Well, he hasn't gone the 5 innings, I do beg your pardon. 4 2/3 innings for Rudy Owens. He breezed through the first 4 innings and then leadoff single. He got the next 2 men, but then 3 straight hits. He'll get a nice hand from this crowd as Rudy Owens departs. We'll be back in just a moment. Dustin Mulliken is coming on a pitching change break. Middle of the 5th inning, 2 outs, a runner at first base. The Curve 4 and the Senators 3 will be back to Blair County Ballpark in just a moment. Hits, 3 straight RBI singles, all with 2 outs. Now Pedro Lopez, the batter, is 0 for 2. Harrisburg shortstop, and Dustin Mulliken will throw over to first base. And Dustin Mulliken appearing in the ball game for the first time since Friday. 2 appearances so far from Mully. He's gone an inning each as he delivers to Lopez, who puts a charge into this first pitch. Back goes Gorkys Hernandez, drifting easily in front of the warning track, makes it so smooth out there, and that'll end the inning. And
Leading off the bottom of the 5th inning for the Curve, center fielder Gorkys Hernandez.
Washington Nationals fans, these 3 guys once appeared at this ballpark as the home team. Former Altoona Curve players Niger Morgan, closer Matt Capps, and the 2003 Eastern League Pitcher of the Year. Integral in leading this franchise to its first ever playoff appearance, Sean Burnett, all currently on the Washington roster. And we're joined by Doug Harris, the Director of Player Development for the Washington Nationals, as Steven Strasburg facing Gorkys Hernandez. And we welcome those of you watching on ESPN News. Doug, Steven, a little bit of turbulence in the 1st and the 4th innings. And we're talking a little bit earlier as the 0-1 pitch. Gorkys comes up empty on the breaking ball as he stabs at it. Maybe the nerves, the crowd, the unbelievable and probably overkill media coverage, maybe just getting to you. I mean, after all, he is human.
Yeah, I think we saw that in the 1st inning. He was a little aggressive in his delivery, real quick to his front side. I thought the 2nd inning he really made a nice adjustment and gathered himself very well, and his stuff was much more crisp and efficient. But all in all, for a first day with everything that's gone into this, I think it's been very good.
And then he drops in a breaking ball just like he does there to Gorkys Hernandez, and Hernandez strikes out for the 2nd time in this ball game.
That's the one there that's going to really help. That knock. I call it the knock. You know, Greg Maddox, I played with him. He goes, throw the knock. You know, Mike was the same way. I got to play with Mike too. I mean, he's a character down in Texas now. You know, they'd always say that's a, you know, need to throw that a little bit more. You know, that'll make that fastball just look even a little bit harder.
We've seen the early steal a strike breaking ball, and I don't think we've seen the consistent wipeout breaking ball that he's capable of throwing at this point. But he's shown flashes of it.
Yep.
Altoona leads Harrisburg 4-3 as Alex Presley, who doubled off his Strasburg in the 1st inning, takes a strike, struck out against him in the 3rd. 8 strikeouts for Steven Strasburg.
Now, I got a question for you, Doug. Have you played catch with him yet?
No, I'm not going there. No.
I mean, you know how some people have heavy balls and some people have light balls. You know, mine I was always told was light. I don't know if you ever remember playing catch with me or not out in Kansas City, but, you know, my ball used to ride a lot, you know, and they couldn't figure out why. You know, I threw from the side, why it didn't sink.
When he plays long toss, you can judge arm strength somewhat in long toss, and we'll have 2 kids throwing side by side. When he's out there, the ball just jumps out of his hand. He's got unbelievable carry. And as Stan and I talked about earlier, I don't think we've seen the best out of his fastball yet. Not in pure velocity, but effectiveness in use. he's still learning those parts of the game, and he's got a chance to be an impact velocity guy when he matures as a pitcher.
Well, he had a good head start. He had Tony Gwynn as his manager.
Yes, he did.
Miles Durham takes a strike. Durham 1 for 2. Singled back in the first inning. Curve up by a run. Doug Harris, player development director for the Washington Nationals, joins us. Alongside Stan Belinda, Dan Zangrilli, glad to have you along from Altoona, Pennsylvania, a city located about 90 miles to the east of Pittsburgh and a 30-minute drive southeast of the Happy Valley State College. As Durham will roll one on the ground. And Doug, before we let you go, he seemed to calm down a little bit now that this thing's within his grasp and it hasn't unraveled. Maybe we see him sort of chomp down a bit. I don't know. The left-handed hitting Leonard Davis, 3, 4, and 5 in the Harrisburg 6th inning. Dan Zangrilli, Stan Belinda. Davis fouling the first one off. Special thanks to Doug Harris for stopping by, the farm director for the Washington Nationals. Talking little Steven Strasburg with us. Dustin Mulliken threw one pitch, got the final out of the 5th, and he's on here in the 6th. And he misses downstairs and inside. 1 ball and 1 strike. The Nationals, Double-A Farm Club Harrisburg, scoring 3 runs on 4 hits in the 5th inning. As Davis swings over top, a good pitch down and in from Dustin Mulliken. Regina, Saskatchewan native. I've had an opportunity, Stan, to, it's my 5th year in baseball. 3 of my 5 years in baseball have been spent with Mulliken on the team in some capacity as a 1-2 pitch. A breaking ball hit on the ground sharply to first base, gobbled up by Shelby Ford. He'll flip to Mulliken covering, and there's 1 down in inning number 6. He was up in State College.
You pretty much know what he likes to eat and everything.
Well, he's a great guy, yes, and of course he comes from the hockey bloodlines.
Okay.
And of course he lives north of the border.
There's nothing wrong with that.
In the off season, yeah.
I played with Larry Walker and played
boy.
against Tom Glavine. Got to play with Tom Glavine. Those guys loved hockey.
Right?
Yeah.
But Molly is one of the great guys in this game. The guys that you really love to be around. Why you get into the game, and it's so fun because of guys like him.
Yep.
Jesus Valdez, the batter, sharply turns on one. Fouls it down the left field line.
Hey, we got a pretty good little hockey team right over here at Galaxy Ice over here, right over the thing. I mean,
oh sure,
some good people take their time out to coach that, and you know, people need to take notice of that too. I mean, hockey's available here in Altoona.
0-2 pitch right down Broadway, and Chris Marrero knew it. Right-handed hitting first baseman is disposed of very quickly by Dustin Mulliken. The old good morning, good afternoon, good night.
Yeah, that's how you're supposed to do it right there. You know, it's like, I'm feeling good. How you feeling today?
Now Marrero 0 for 3, so that will answer that question. But Valdez, a little better afternoon, 1 for 2, right-handed hitting right fielder. Said he was up before, but it was Marrero, the first baseman, do beg your pardon. Line on Rudy Owens. Owens goes 4 2/3 innings. Rudy gives up a total of 5 hits, 3 runs, all of which were earned. Owens did not walk anybody.
Oh, nice play.
De Los Santos deep in the hole, but he throws it away. Over top the head is Shelby Ford. And we'll see how they score that base hitter error, because it would have been a bang-bang play even if he did make a good throw. They're going to, I think, correctly call that a base hit. Ted Beam, our official
Just
scorer.
to get a glove on that one, you know, was something. You know, then he had to really rush to get up and throw, you know.
Third baseman, Adam Fox.
4 strikeouts for Owens, no walks. And now Adam Fox, the batter, 1 for 2. Bloop one down the left field line, into left center rather, back in the 2nd inning. He fouled back to the catcher in the 5th. There's a delivery from Mulliken. Outside and downstairs, 1 ball and no strikes. No bullpen activity for Harrisburg, so I imagine that we'll see Steven Strasburg come back in the 6th. Set by the right-hander. Check of the runners and the 1-0. Fouled off the instep of the St. Mary's native. 1 ball and 1 strike.
I didn't see anybody walking down along there to see if, you know, if they were ready to come in. A lot of times that'll happen, you know.
Sure.
they'll send the guy down after he's ready and just sit in the dugout so he doesn't have to run the whole way out there. You know, but I didn't see anybody come down. So hopefully he comes back out and we get another look at him.
The Curve 4 and Harrisburg 3. Senators batting in the top of the 6th inning. A man aboard and 2 down. They'll throw to first. And back with a headlong dive is Adam Fox. Or rather, Jesus Valdez. Righty Mulliken deals, and a shot right back up the box through the middle, a base hit. Valdez will pull up at second base as Gorkys Hernandez will flip the ball back into the infield. And Adam Fox in front of 68 fans of his that drove down from Elk County this afternoon to watch the St. Mary's guy come play baseball. Watching him have a 2-for-3 afternoon thus far.
He's doing good today.
And Bill Reinhardt will dig in. The left-handed hitting left fielder is 0 for 2. Looked at a called third strike back in the second against Owens and grounded out against him in the 5th. So he's happy to see Rudy gone. It's a shame that we couldn't get Rudy that full 5 innings to get him to qualify for a win.
Yeah, that's got to really stink right there.
Yeah.
I mean, and I'm sure he knows it too. But I just noticed by the way Matt was walking out there, he was, you know, he's not going to tell the guy that, but just by how he was walking out there, it was like, you know, I gave you, you know, these guys gave you a lead. You know, you need to at least, you know, get out of this with a chance to have a win, you know.
1-0 delivery, and Reinhardt turns on a ball deep down the right field line. Hook foul it does. Thank goodness. That's about 15 feet to the left. Harrisburg down 1 right now. They'd be up by 2. Had the distance, but not quite the accuracy.
Yeah, you got to keep those hands inside a long time when it's inside like that. That head comes out around too early. It's a foul ball, just a long strike.
Runners at first and second, 2 out. The Curve by 1. Mulliken misses inside with a breaking pitch. 2 balls and 1 strike.
You definitely put a little shift on for him, you know, after he hit that. You know, they're shifting him over.
Shortstop De Los Santos only a couple of steps towards the second base bag as Mulliken will throw one high and out of the zone. Reinhardt chased it. It's 2-2. Yeah, not quite the Barry Bonds or David Ortiz shift where you have 3 infielders on the right side of second base. But Reinhardt actually beat that shift on opening night. He went Tony Gwynn style right through that 5.5 hole.
Yeah, well, I was just watching. Are you going to pitch away from it? You know what I'm saying? I mean, he knows it's shifting on. How do you pitch that? You know, that was always my question when I was playing. You know, if we did shift a guy, it was like, no, wait a minute here.
Bust him in.
Yeah, why not bust him in right here? If he goes away with something soft or something like that, that hole's wide open over there.
They'll go away, and he hits this ball a ton deep right center field. It's trouble. Gorky's racing towards the gap. He won't get it. 1 run will score. Valdez is in the way. Fox home as well. It's a 2-run double for Bill Reinhardt, and Harrisburg has battled all the way back, and they have taken their first lead of the ball game. It's 5-4 Senators.
Wow.
Smacking a 2-run double to the right center field alley, Bill Reinhardt. And that ball just left up and out over the zone on the outer third of the plate.
Yeah, it is to get off the plate there or come in hard. Just like we talked about, Dan. I mean, you can't give him middle, and that ball's middle third away, you know, on a dead pool guy. That's right where they want it.
Now we'll see Jonathan Solano stand in. The catcher is 1 for 2 with an RBI single and a run scored. The Senators 5 and Altoona 4. Yeah. Mulliken deals inside and low. 1 ball and no strikes.
Well, you know, I said about, you know, when you score, you want to go out and put a 0 up. Strasburg, his team scored 3, went out and put a 0 up. Now look what happens. Now they got the lead 5-4. He's in line for a win here. See how that works? This game is all about momentum, you know, and that's how it works.
Deep in the hole at third. Shelby Ford can't pick it out of there, but he recovers to throw. Out at home plate is Bill Reinhardt trying to come around to score. Ground ball hit by Solano deep in the hole, and Josh Harrison threw in the dirt. Ford couldn't scoop it out, but he deflected it with his glove, and he was able to recover to throw out Reinhardt, who tried to score Bat in the fifth spot of the batting order, and bring Michael Daniel in to play right field in the double switch, and he'll hit ninth. Pitcher's spot was due up in the Harrisburg seventh anyway. Bottom of the sixth inning, the curve down a run as Arneson misses downstairs to Watts. 2 balls and no strikes. Watts had a good afternoon against Steven Strasburg. The 2 walks that Strasburg allowed were to the left-handed hitting catcher for the curve. Strike dealt. 2 balls and 1 strike. So the line on Steven Strasburg is 5 innings, 4 runs, 4 hits. Strasburg did walk a couple. His time called by the home plate umpire, David Susi. He struck out 8 batters. And that ties, I guess, his quote-unquote career high. Of course, this is Double-A debut. Pitched downstairs and inside 3-1 in an exhibition game against the St. Louis Cardinals back on March the 19th at home. He struck out 8 batters, did not walk anybody. Well, Watts will look at one outside and high once more, and he'll be on base for the 3rd time with the free pass. So Watts, good plate discipline for the curve catcher. And Josh Harrison will come to the bat. Reached on a fielder's choice and scored the game's 3rd run. He also looked at a called 3rd strike against Strasburg in the 1st. Harrison draws Adam Fox, the 3rd baseman, up even with the bag. Arneson delivers. Harrison bunting, and the bunt is down. 3rd base side, it'll cue foul. And 1 strike to count. Bullpen activity for Altoona. Might be safe to assume that Michael Doobie will be the curve pitcher in the top half of inning number 7. For Eric Arneson, appeared on opening night against the Altoona Curve, struck out 4 over 2 innings, and just allowed 1 hit in the Curve's 5-1 win over the Harrisburg Senators. They trail 5-4 to the Sens here in the bottom of the 6th. Harrison squares to bunt again. He gets it down 3rd base side. This will stay fair. Fox will pick it up, and he'll throw on to 1st, and it goes 5-3. Up to 2nd base goes Chris Watts. Well, Matt Walbeck here in the 6th inning playing for that 1 run and for the tie. Shelby Ford, the batter. Switch hitter will turn around and continue to bat from that left side. 0 for 2 against Strasburg, grounded out against him in the 2nd inning and look at a called 3rd strike. .82 pitches thrown by Steven Strasburg, and they're only going to charge him with 1 earned run. So the ERA not going to take a hurting in today's game, and accurately scored because his defense did commit a couple defensive miscues behind him. Set by Arneson, delivery to Ford, backdoor breaking ball, a called strike. It's 1-1. Now the Senators, 5 runs on 8 hits, 2 errors is our line score. The Curve, 4 runs on 4 hits, 1 error. Shelby getting his first start at first base this afternoon. 1-1 pitch. He'll slap foul the other way. 1-2. Eric Arneson. Go ahead, Stan. I'm sorry.
He did good enough to give his team a chance to win the game, and for him to win the W. I mean, that was tremendous. They scored 3 runs for him, and he put up a 0. They came out and scored another 2. You know, and now they got the lead. He's got it. Gave himself and his team a chance to win the game.
A 1-2 pitch. Ford swings and misses at a good breaking ball down and inside, and Shelby down on strikes for the 2nd time this afternoon. 2 away in the 6th inning, and Jose De Los Santos, the batter. De Los Santos singling up the middle and scoring a run. Run driven in, has 3 on the year. 1 for 2 against Strasburg. And, we talked to Doug Harris, the player development guy for Washington. For Strasburg, all things considered, his pro debut, certainly not in a bubble. He knows that every pitch that he makes is going to be analyzed, scrutinized. It's going to be broadcast live over the country. Quite a bit to be under for just a 21-year-old guy as De Los Santos takes a strike. And I'm just going to ask you a simple question, Stan. Take me back, because you'll remember it. You know it the first time. Your major league debut, what were the circumstances? Or your pro debut, for that matter? My
pro debut, well, first of all, I was rehabbing from an ankle injury that I suffered when I was playing softball right before I signed. But my pro debut, I mean, it was just adrenaline. You're running on adrenaline, you know. And then my major league debut, I mean, we're playing the vaulted Mets, you know, and I hadn't picked up a ball in almost 9-10 days. You know, and I got called up to pitch that, you know, and get in that game that night.
De Los Santos will take high.
So it's all adrenaline. It's all your first appearance is all adrenaline, you know.
And I'll ask you, as Arneson has a 1-ball, 2-strike, 2-out count on De Los Santos with a runner at second and 2 down here in the 6th, Curve trailing by a run. Was it in front of 8,000 plus people in the minors? Was it on national television with 30 different outlets? Is the pitch down and away?
No, absolutely not. I was in Bradenton, Florida. There was probably maybe 3 people there watching the game at noon, you know. Probably at 1 o'clock in the afternoon I was getting in the game, you know. So,
sure.
You know, and there was nobody there. I mean, and threatening thunderstorms every day, you know. So on the one practice field, you know, we played our games.
So certainly different circumstances. So, and I guess the whole point of what we're, I guess, trying to get to is that, all things considered, if you have a chance to walk away with a W, as Steven Strasburg does here this afternoon, that's thumbs up, given all the pressure that he's under.
Absolutely. Anytime you want somebody to get better at something, you just keep presenting it to him. He's going to have this media thing hanging over him his career, so he might as well.
In right field, and was the 6-hole hitter for the Harrisburg Senators. Wind by Dustin Mulliken. The delivery blows it by Daniel. Daniel, a left-handed hitter from Charlotte, North Carolina. Curve trailing the Harrisburg Senators 5-4. Top half of inning number 7. Strike called at the knees, outside corner. 0-2. Rudy Owens, 4 2/3 for Altoona this afternoon. Gave up 3 runs on 5 hits, 4 strikeouts. Mulliken got the final out of the 5th and gave up 4 hits on 2 runs in the 7th. As the ball rolled foul down the right field line, no balls and 2 strikes. Stations, we are approaching the 4 o'clock hour, so we owe you a station identification break. We'll get to it in just a bit. Oh-2 pitch. Inside corner for a called strike 3. Good tailing fastball by Mulliken at 93 miles an hour on the radar. And that's the 6th strikeout this afternoon by Altoona Curve pitching. 1 down in the 7th. We'll step aside. 10 seconds for station identification at the 4 o'clock hour on the Altoona Curve Baseball Network. Dan Zangrilli, Stan Belinda, Blair County Ballpark, Altoona, Pennsylvania. Dustin Mulliken missing upstairs to Michael Martinez. High, Martinez is 1 for 3. RBI single back in the 5th inning. He's also grounded out and he's struck out. And he'll foul one into the picnic pavilion, third base side. It's 1-1.
This guy's got pretty good stuff. I mean, he gave up 4 hits last inning, but I'm watching him deliver the ball, and I mean, his ball's moving all over the place. I mean, and he's got good velocity. I mean, he just was a couple balls jammed, you know, fell in last inning, you know, so.
1-1 pitch, a breaking ball wrapped down the right field line. It'll be a ball and 2 strikes. Just Mulliken had Tommy John surgery a couple of years ago. That split finger pitch did him in, but since then he has been able to come back and regenerate that life in his fastball, and he does have electric stuff. Goes into a full windup on the 1-2, and it's going to scoot up the middle for a base hit by Michael Martinez with 1 out.
Yeah,
he's aboard.
We shouldn't say anything because every time we talk good about having to get a base hit up, seeing eye signal right there up in the center field. But, you know, he's got, from what I'm looking up here, I mean, it looks like he's got a nice smooth delivery. He's back to where he should be, you know, after Tommy John and everything. So I'm wondering if he's still throwing that pitch, if they even recommend, if Andrews recommends throwing that pitch anymore after you have it.
Because that split finger.
They blame it on that, a lot of it, but you can throw a slider the wrong way and have that happen also.
Mulliken steps off before Pedro Lopez completely digs in. Lopez 0 for 3. The announced paid attendance on this Sunday afternoon, 7,887. Let's just say there's 7,210 seats at Blair County Ballpark. A capacity crowd indeed. A lot of folks up on the Reliance Bank hillside. The outfield bleachers are full. Dustin Mulliken with one down and one on, 7th inning, dealing to Lopez, who twirls one foul back of the on-deck circle.
It's good to see people come out this early for baseball, and it just bodes well for Pittsburgh. I mean, eventually, this is going to turn around, and Pittsburgh's going to put a winner back on the thing. I mean, you're 100 miles from Pittsburgh. I mean, it's going to be just like taking an hour and a half, 2-hour drive to get there, and you're going to see all these guys at PNC Park. I mean, it's going to happen again. It's just a matter of when.
And we've seen this Altoona Curve Club off to a 3-0 start. Really the first time that they've been in jeopardy of dropping a ball game. But now this is a no-quit type of team. I mean, they have battled back a couple of times in spring training, and manager Matt Walbeck is, just speaking of the Altoona Curve specifically, have really enjoyed the moxie and the poise that this club has, especially for being so young, as the 0-2 is rattled off the mask of the umpire. David Susi has his bell rung. That definitely got a piece of Susi, but he seems to be okay. Hardly flinched.
Yep.
Yeah, beautiful afternoon. Mother Nature has been kind for a couple of games to the Altoona Curve. Thursday and Friday.
Yeah, well, Friday wasn't that real cold day.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it was brutal out.
it was snowing by the end of the end of the game for the San Diego Chicken.
Yeah. He was loving that one.
Oh, yeah. Well, he was a snowbird. But he had fun. Our good folks up at Tyrone Milling brought the San Diego Chicken here to Blair County Ballpark. High set by Dustin Mulliken, 0-2. Check of the runner who was leaning over at first, but he's back with a headlong dive. Yeah, he was running. Certainly looked as if they had plans to put Michael Martinez in motion.
Yeah, he was going there.
Gorkys Hernandez straight up in center field, but a little shallow. Mulliken goes hard and away downstairs with a slider. Watts a good stop, the catcher.
That's the part of the game I like to watch. So I like to watch steals and catchers throwing guys out. That's excitement in the game. Everybody wants to see the 3-run homer. I like seeing home runs, but I also like to see, how a tenth of a second matters.
Well, and that's what this team is going to have to do, because there's not a whole lot of thunder that will bring you a 3-run homer. As the runner goes from first, 1-2 pitch to Lopez, popped up back of home plate. In foul ground, Watts with a mask off will reel it in for out number 2. Back to first base goes Michael Martinez. So Pedro Lopez now 0 for 4 after fouling out. And especially in this ballpark, Stan. I mean, I'm sure you would have loved to pitch in ballparks the size of this your entire career,
my goodness.
right?
This would have been like, I'll just stay here for a while, I mean, when I played in the old ballparks where you drove. I mean, you wanted to get out of there as fast as you could, and that's back when they had minor leaguers career minor leaguers that stay there for 10, 12 years before you even got a chance to go to the big leagues. Then it started the other way. It's all these new ballparks, and the revenues went up, and even at the big league. They started putting new ballparks up, so revenues went there. So they wanted to see new faces come in with these new ballparks, and just started moving kids through the systems, I think, a little bit too fast.
2 outs, 1 on. Strike 1 call to Leonard Davis. He'll swing and foul one back to the netting. It's 0-2. But you don't see many that are built as big as this with the dimensions. And I speak 385 in the gaps and 375 in the alley, 405 straightaway. They're usually bandboxes, but if you're pitching in, it'll shave a run off of any pitcher's career earned run average, huh?
Right. If you're a pitcher, you got to love to pitch here at Blair County Ballpark. This is a great pitcher's park.
0-2 is chopped to second base. Deep.
Oh,
Negrich overthrows Shelby Ford, and all hands are safe, and they're going to wave home the runner. Nope, he's going to put on the brakes, is Michael Martinez. As a chopping ball, that Baltimore chop, and Negrich had to back up deep. Shallow right field, and he just threw wide to Shelby Ford, and all hands are safe, and it'll be a two-base error as Leonard Davis will get up to second base on the play, and Michael Martinez goes from first to third.
Oh, I just read where they're renovating Harrisburg's field too down there.
They are beautiful.
I got to play on that, when they first went out into the island and stuff, and we were in little trailers, for the locker room.
Sure.
I was only there for about 2 months when I got called up to AAA, but that was a great town too to play in also.
Beautiful, especially across the river. Great restaurants out there. Always love going to City Island, and now that they have a state-of-the-art facility renovating Old Metro Bank Park, really excited to go there here in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, and I mean that's something that I'd probably want to take my kids down and see that,
Sure.
Because they're always asking me, where did you play? Where'd you play? I can't show them some of the stadiums I put in because they're probably long gone, like in Macon, Georgia, and that. But they were no better than some of the stuff that the kids play on now for Teener League in high school.
1-0 to Chris Marrero, hit in the air to right field. Miles Durham the catch, and Dustin Mulliken, a couple of base runners, is able to overcome a two-base throwing error by second baseman Jim Negrich. No runs, one hit, one error, and two men left in scoring position.
Leading off the bottom of the seventh inning, for the curve. Chase Darno.
Chase Darno batting for Dustin Mulliken here in the bottom half of the seventh inning. First ball swinging, he'll fly out to center field, and there's one away. Dan Zangrilli and Stan Belinda, glad to have you along here at Blair County Ballpark on a great day for baseball. And the Curve have to chip away at a one-run deficit. 5 runs on 9 hits, a couple of errors for the Harrisburg Senators. And 4 runs, 4 hits, 2 errors for the Altoona Curve. Up to the top of the batting order for Jim Negrich. Sorry, Stan.
There's plenty of time here. I mean, they got a guy here throwing right over the top. His ball's going to be pretty straight. Don't try to pull. They need to take this guy the other way a little bit from what I see. And they pulled everything to this point and either popped it up or hit it on the ground. So.
Eric Arneson came on for Steven Strasburg in the 6th inning. Strasburg in line to win it. For those tuning in late, Strasburg striking out 8 in his Double-A debut. 5 innings, 4 hits, 4 runs, only 1 earned. As Negrich will take a strike, it's 2-1. Jimmy is 0 for 3, popped up to the shortstop, flew to left field, and he also looked at a called third strike. 2-1 delivery. Strike outside corner, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Michael Doobie warming up in the Curve bullpen. Eric Arneson, a scoreless 6th inning, struck out 2, walked a guy. 2-ball, 2-strike pitch. Arneson misses downstairs. Now the Curve had Strasburg on the ropes early. They jumped out to a 1-0 lead off the right-hander. With 2 outs, Presley doubled, and Miles Durham drove him in. It was 1-0 Altoona. And the Curve had a 4-0 lead at the end of 4, scoring 3 runs in the 4th inning as Negrich will roll one towards first base. Marrero picks it up. Genuflecting one knee. He'll step on the bag himself. RBIs by Jose De Los Santos, and Rudy Owens, the pitcher, even got in on the action. A throwing error by Leonard Davis also helped the Curve get those 3 runs across. So Harrisburg has come back, and you got to credit the Sens for scoring 5 unanswered.
Yep.
On behalf of Steven Strasburg, who was down after he left the mound in the 5th inning. It was still a 4-3 Altoona lead at the point. And time Strasburg left as Gorkis Hernandez waves and misses at the first offering from Arneson. Gorkis is 0 for 3 with a couple of strikeouts, both off of Strasburg. Rudy Owens went 4 2/3 innings for Altoona as Gorkis will swing and miss at a good breaking ball from Arneson. Then Dustin Mulliken gave up a couple of runs on 4 hits in the 6th, and Harrisburg is had that 1-run lead ever since. As the delivery from Arneson, changeup missing low, 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Yeah, we just got to get some base runners on right here and, you know, put some pressure on the pitcher. Get him out of the windup.
1-2 pitch. Inside corner for a called strike 3. Good tailing fastball at 91. Gorky's thought it was in. Doesn't matter. David Susi rings him up. And the curve will go down in order for the 4th time this afternoon.
We are asking the tough questions, getting answers, and keeping.
Jesus Valdez stand in. Is this Valdez? Who came out in the double switch? That's what I want to know.
Yeah.
And we'll figure that out. Wind by Doobie and the delivery. Downstairs and away. 1 ball and no strikes. And well, I don't think it's Adam Fox. No, Fox is on deck. We'll have to double check that. Offering downstairs. 2 balls and no strikes.
Yeah, they did do double switch, and I thought this was the guy they did it with.
Well, Daniel is in the 9th spot. We know that.
Yeah.
And when Daniel came in, we'll see who made the last out the inning before, and that'll hopefully lead to our detective work. We'll check it. Or we'll see if somebody comes up. That's chance, or if somebody pinch hits for the pitcher spot. We know that's the slot.
Yeah.
2 balls, 1 strike. The count on Jesus Valdez. 2 for 3 this afternoon. A couple of runs scored. Doobie delivers and a little flare into center field. Gorky started back, comes in, slides. It falls in front of him for a base hit. Valdez is 3 for 4 today.
Yeah, there you go. I mean, there's a Bermuda Triangle in right center there. Right there. We've had them both hit today.
Now, Adam Fox has had a good day in front of the natives. 2 for 3 and a run scored. Third baseman for the Harrisburg Senators. And, you know, Stan, you and I were discussing in between innings the amazing crowd here, and a lot of black and gold. Old Pirates jerseys. We see a gentleman wearing a Burt Blyleven jersey. We see a Willie the Starge jersey downstairs. And you and I were discussing just the influx of Pirate fans as Fox goes gapping left center field. Presley trying to close, diving, stab. Did he get it? Yes, he did. They're going to say that he caught it cleanly, and he has a chance to double up the runner. Yes, he does. Valdez is doubled off. Alex Presley, a lunging catch out in shallow left center field on a sinking floater out that way. 2-hopper strike to Shelby Ford. That was off the end of the bat. A golf swing on a low pitch thrown by Doobie.
Yep. It's a great play right there.
Oh, no question. Don't see many 3-7-3 double plays, but we'll take them.
Yep.
So 2 away in the inning. The base is empty, and it is no longer Bill Reinhardt. So Bill Reinhardt is the guy that made the final out, and they're going to say that Eric Arneson is actually just going to bat for himself. The pitcher, so it's Reinhardt that exited the game.
Okay.
So Arneson going to swing the lumber for a little bit. Figure 2 outs and the base is empty. No need to burn a bench guy in a 1-run game. The comeback curve, you tie it up, and you don't have much going here. Nobody in scoring position, so no use of burning a bench player. It's more valuable probably to get 1 more inning out of Arneson.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, if they maybe later in the year, you know, or they're priming this guy to become a starter because he's already went 2. You know, maybe they want him to be starting later in the year.
Yeah, and Arneson has started a good bit in his career, especially with Potomac in high A. 1-2 pitch to him, and Doobie will freeze him with a fastball right at the knees for a called 3rd strike. And Doobie faces the minimum. He's also struck out swinging. He's grounded out to the 3rd baseman. First time facing Arneson. He'll take a strike on the outside corner against the quick working Arneson. 0-1, and we were talking, Stan, before we went to break about the influx of Pirate fans here, and you're, of course, a native of the area, and breaking ball misses downstairs to Presley, but of course the reason why the Pirates decided to move their AA affiliate from Carolina to Altoona as opposed to Carolina to Erie when they had that opportunity when the Seawolves went from a short season club to AA after the 98 season as Presley swings and misses, is because Blair County was the second highest draw at the time at Three Rivers Stadium, only second to Allegheny County. Of course, that's the city of Pittsburgh. And, of course, we're not a bordering county like Beaver, Butler, Washington counties, Westmoreland counties, as Presley will take a off-speed pitch away, 2 balls and 2 strikes. And you mentioned, and I never knew this, that you had a conversation with, of course, then General Manager Cam Bonifay.
Oh, absolutely. Cam came to me in Milwaukee and in the hotel and asked me if it would go here. And I said, absolutely. I grew up in State College around, being a Bucco fan, and I knew a lot of people from Altoona were Bucco fans. My extended family's from Johnstown area, which is huge Steel country.
Oh, sure.
So it's all about the Pirates and Steelers, So I told him that would be great if you could put one there in Altoona. And the next thing you know, they were starting in 99 here.
Sharply hit ground ball on a 2-2 pitch by Presley. Martinez fields it. He'll throw out the runner. Alex Presley, and there's one away in the 8th inning. And the curve starting to run out a little bit of a time. I mean, there still was time the last time we talked about it, but they could use a base runner or two. They, as a matter of fact, have not had one since the first batter of the 6th inning. And that was Chris Watts.
Yeah.
On deck man. Miles Durham has been on base once, an RBI single off of Strasburg in the 1st inning. Flown to right. He is grounded out. He takes a strike, 0-1. As the breaking ball is hit through the left side of the infield by Durham, a base hit. So right on cue, Miles providing his 2nd hit of the afternoon, and there's that much-needed base runner that we need. Chris Watts has had a productive afternoon so far. No at-bats officially, but 3 walks and a run scored for the curve backup catcher.
That's a pretty good day for backup catcher, 3 walks.
Oh, absolutely. And he's made a couple of fine defensive plays back of home plate. Those top spin pop-ups with the high sky and the bright sun. The glasses on it. Should be a well-deserved start for Chris Watts. Pitch outside, 1 ball and no strikes. The Harrisburg Senators lead the Altoona Curve 5-4. All sorts of creatures flying into the booth. What are those bumblebees? They are the size of small birds. Pitch up and out of the zone, 2-0. One got a little up close and personal there. Had to shoo it off.
We always made fun in the minor leagues. The lights weren't as good as they are now, so we'd have lots of insects just like that. And we'd get huge ones. I mean, we call them pterodactyls. That's how big they were.
Watts will pop up a 2-0 pitch on the infield back of second base for shortstop Pedro Lopez, who makes the call and the catch. And there's 2 away in the 8th inning. And Josh Harrison will be the batter with Miles Durham at first. Curve trailing by a run. Harrison 0 for 2 officially. Struck out looking, reached on a fielder's choice, scored the game's 4th run. Or scored the game's 3rd run back in the 4th inning, I should say, and a sacrifice bunt back in inning number 6. Curve 3rd baseman this afternoon, and Randy Knorr, the Harrisburg manager, will come out, and he'll be making a pitching change. Right-hander was warming up in the bullpen for the Harrisburg Senators. And we'll see a new pitcher for Harrisburg, and it'll be Drew Storen, one of the bigger prospects in the Washington chain, Indianapolis, Indiana native. And Eric Arneson will exit. The 3rd best prospect in the Washington Nationals chain will be on the mound, reliever Drew Storen out of Stanford, the 1st-round draft pick, along with Steven Strasburg. 2 first-round picks for Washington in 2009. They not only selected Strasburg with the 1st overall pick, they had one a little bit later, and they wound up getting Drew Storen, the 6'2", 180-pounder who will be facing Josh Harrison after Eric Arneson goes 2 2/3 scoreless. We're at the bottom of the hour in central and western Pennsylvania. Let's pause 10 seconds for our stations down the line to identify themselves. A reminder, the Curve are still home for 3 more games, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, against the Richmond Flying Squirrels. Let's step aside on the Altoona Curve Radio Network. Drew Storen's first pitch on the way to Josh Harrison. Runner goes. Durham from first. Pitches a ball, and Durham slides in safely behind the tag of Pedro Lopez, the shortstop. Stolen base for Miles Durham,
Wow.
and it's a big one. The big guy can run. Real athletic kid, Stan. And
That's nice.
Yeah.
Nice to see that.
Matty Walbeck pushing the buttons. You don't see your cleanup hitter and right fielder a lot of times running in situations like this in the 8th inning, but that's how athletic Durham is.
That's good. As this guy gets rid of the ball pretty quick to the plate.
Yeah, good jump by Miles Durham. So the tying run in scoring position for Altoona in the 8th as a curveball dropped in to Josh Harrison. 1 ball and 1 strike. Harrison has scored a run. He's been on base 1 time this afternoon. Dan Zangrilli, Stan Belinda, glad to have you along on a Sunday afternoon. 7,887 today attending today's game. It's a pitch high from Storen, 2-1.
And sunny it is, and we're happy that it is.
And 10th overall pick, Storen. It was a compensation pick. He failed to sign a 2008 first rounder Aaron Crow, if you recall. So the Nationals were compensated with that 10th overall pick, and they got Storen. He misses downstairs and away. 3 balls and 1 strike.
Well, this guy's lighting the gun up over 90, now, or this early in the year. I mean, I think the Nats are just trying to load up on really great arms, and that's a great philosophy. I mean, Stan Kasten from, who's there now. He was with the Braves. That's how they built that dynasty, around arms.
Harrison will hit one on the ground to short. To his left, Pedro Lopez cutting the ball off, and he'll throw out Josh Harrison, and that'll end the inning. Miles Durham gets himself in scoring position with the stolen base, but he's stranded at second. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 Harrisburg 5-4. Michael Doobie on for his second inning of relief, scoreless 8th, facing the minimum. We'll have 8, 9, and 1 in the Harrisburg lineup. Solano, Michael Daniel, and then Michael Martinez coming to bat against the right-hander in his second stint with the Altoona Curve. Called up midway through the 2009 campaign along with Dustin Mulliken, Pedro Alvarez, Miles Durham, the quartet that was brought up. First offering is a strike on the inside corner at the knees to Solano, who's had a good afternoon. RBI single and a run scored back in a 3-run 5th inning for Harrisburg. Also a base hit in the 6th. Delivery from Doobie, swung on, tipped into the mid of catcher Watts, and 2 strikes the count. Harrisburg has out-hit Altoona 10-5 this afternoon. The Curve had a 4-0 lead at one point.
Yeah, you can't let that slip away. But, that's baseball. And, that's the learning process for Rudy, to come back and try again next time, make sure that doesn't happen.
Pitch away, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Owens, the starter, went 4 2/3, gave up 3 earned runs on 5 hits, was cruising through the first 4 innings, then a good bit of turbulence when 6 men came to the plate against him. As this up the middle for a base hit off the bat of Jonathan Solano, 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Yep.
Right fielder Michael Daniel.
Michael Daniel will be the batter. Came on in part of a double switch. Looked at a called 3rd strike his first time up. Steven Strasburg started the game for Harrisburg in his professional debut. Struck out 8 over 5 innings. Gave up 4 runs, only 1 of which was earned. The Curve had him on the ropes 4-0, but his teammates picked him up. Scored those 3 in the 5th inning, and then a 2-run double by Bill Reinhardt in the 6th. That was the backbreaker, and that's where we've stood since then.
Yep.
Daniel showing bunt, pulls back and taking a strike. Or rather a ball down and away, beg your pardon. Tomorrow, looking forward to seeing the AA debut of Justin Wilson when the Richmond Flying Squirrels are in town. That'll be a 6:30 first pitch, a mirror Monday at the ballpark. Daniel squaring. Again, he'll look at one low and away. The Richmond Flying Squirrels, they'll come with left-hander Craig Clark. And we recycle the rotation. Mike Crott on Tuesday, Jared Hughes on Wednesday, and that'll end the 7-game homestand to open up 2010. And then we will hit the road for a 7-gamer, road trip up in Erie and Akron. Runner goes from first, 2-0, and a big hole through the right side of the infield, and they'll sneak it through there. And the ball cut off as right fielder Miles Durham flips it back into the infield. First to third goes Jonathan Solano, and works perfectly. Michael Daniels shooting it through the right side of the infield. Though it wasn't a particularly hit and run, it was the old run and hit.
Yeah.
Big difference there is
huge difference.
Second baseman Harrison did not vacate his position. Now manager Matt Walbeck will come out of the bullpen. Nobody warming right now, so I believe they probably just want to get their first and third defense. I'd say on cue should Harrisburg and maybe try to steal a run.
Right.
Or at least try to get 2 in scoring position.
I can't see him doing that with nobody out.
Sure.
If there was 2 outs, I could see him trying, Randy trying to steal a run, maybe 1 out. But with no outs and he's got top of the order coming up, pretty much I think what he was telling him, whether the middle of the infield is going to play back for 2 or are we going to play up to cut the run down. I think that's what he was trying to decide as he was walking out there. And from the look of it, they're going to play up and try to cut the run down.
You got De Los Santos, the third baseman, Darno, the shortstop, staying in the ball game, and Harrison over at second, and Shelby Ford over at first. Outfield in a few steps, especially left fielder Presley, as Doobie working to Michael Martinez, who's going to hit it on the ground, and it's off the glove of Shelby Ford. It caroms to Harrison at second, who underhand flips. Out number 1 of the inning, but a big second insurance run scores for the Harrisburg Senators, who now lead it by a score of 6-4. And that just took a little bit of a hop, rode up on the heel of Shelby Ford, and nothing he could do for it, because if he fields it cleanly, they have the contact play on with Solano at third. He's meat at the plate.
Yeah. Yep. I mean, he was going as soon as he hit it, so, which was, that was odd to me because, usually contact plays 1 out, not nobody out. Because of sac fly, you wait for a sac fly. But some managers like to put it on with nobody out. But if you got to get it out and it's first and second, then a ground ball gets you out of the inning and, you don't score anyway, so.
So it is 6-4 Harrisburg here in the 9th inning. Runner at second base is Michael Daniel. Now Pedro Lopez, 0 for 4 so far this afternoon, the batter. Set by Doobie below the belt. Check of the runner. He'll deliver, and this ball hit on the line, and they'll double up the man. Chase Darno grabs it at shortstop. Quick flip to Harrison. On the line drive, it goes 6-4, the double play.
Make him, but.
Swinging away.
Swinging away.
Not much for that. Well, I guess if it's down Broadway, might as well take a hack, huh?
Yeah, well, 1 home, you're down by 2, you need base runners. So, I don't know. Matt might know something I don't know. I'm not around the game enough to know yet, how accurate this guy is. I'd have to look, at his first pitch strikes and stuff like that. They have all charted, so.
Comes with a 95-mile-an-hour fastball, and he blows it by Ford, who is behind 0-2. Shelby grounded to second in the second, looked at the cold third in the fourth, struck out swinging in the sixth, and he'll strike out swinging here in the ninth. 1 away. Good downer, low and inside from Drew Storen. The Stanford product. Earned a save in 9 of his appearances with the Harrisburg Senators last year.
Okay.
Promoted to Double-A, did Drew Storen back on August the 12th.
Okay.
1-0, a couple of saves, 7 games, 11 strikeouts, only 2 walks for Potomac in his first year as a pro. Taking a strike is Jose De Los Santos, switch hitter from the left side.
Okay.
Jose, RBI single with a run scored, sandwiched in between 2 strikeouts this afternoon. Curve down 6-4 in the bottom of the 9th inning. Pause in the windup of Storen and a big leg kick and a beauty of a backdoor breaker for a called strike 2.
Yeah.
His college career, Strasburg-like numbers when he struck out 116 and walked just 23.
Those college kids must swing a lot. They got that aluminum in their hand, though, you know.
0-2 pitch, breaking ball and a chopper. High off home plate, comes down and Storen fields it, and he fires towards first base to retire the Speedy De Los Santos. And now the curve down to their final out, and Chase Darno, who came on pinch hitting for Dustin Mulliken in the 7th inning, stayed in the game to play shortstop. Only saw one pitch this afternoon, swung at the first offering from Eric Arneson and flew out to center field. Chase getting most of the afternoon off, the everyday shortstop for the Pirates AA Farm Club. Darno off to a pretty good start this season at the plate. 3 for 13 now. Swings at the first ball and fouls it back into the luxury level, 0-1. Stan, if you have an opportunity, come on down here to the ballpark next time you're here. Just watch Chase Darno play shortstop. Boy, he is real smooth.
Real smooth.
Yeah, and doesn't have to dive all over the place because the first step off the bat, real good, gets himself in position.
That's good.
They'll take a breaking ball strike, 0-2. Curve down to their final strike on the afternoon.
It's always nice to watch how the middle infielders field the ball. You know, they're so smooth with it.
0-2 pitch from Drew Storen to Chase Darno, outside and low, 1 ball and 2 strikes, so the curve lived for another strike this afternoon. 6 runs on 12 hits, a couple of errors for Harrisburg. 4 runs on 5 hits, 2 errors for Altoona. Storen from that first base side of the rubber peers in over that glove high into his face, lowers it below his belt. A big breath as he kicks and deals the 1-2, and a cue shot foul on a slider low and away from Drew Storen.
Yeah, our bats pretty much just went silent after the 4th inning.
Yeah.
I mean, they've come alive, and we went silent, you know. But
only 1 hit, 2 base runners.
Yeah.
To
Yeah.
piggyback on your point there, Stan. 1-2 to Darno. Bases empty, 2 down in the bottom of the 9th. The delivery. Breaking ball low, and the count is level. 2 balls and 2 strikes. For those joining us late, the Curve had a 4-0 lead and had Steven Strasburg on the ropes. Miles Derman RBI single in the first, and then they put up a 3 spot in the 4th off of Strasburg. But then Harrisburg since then has scored 3 unanswered, and Strasburg in line to win it. Mulliken would be on the hook for the loss as the 2-2 is a called strike 3 and the ball game is over. The Curve lose for the first time in 2010. They go down 1-2-3 in the 9th. Final score from Blair County Ballpark on Sunday afternoon: Harrisburg 6 and Altoona 4.
Final score, Harrisburg 6, your Altoona 4. Harrisburg improves to 1-3, Altoona falls to 3-1 this season.